sir.
We're going to bring on fellow dog lover, Hartley Sawyer. Hi, Hartley.
Hi, guys. How are you?
It's all good in the hood. Then
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, no, you sound great. Then we're bringing on Candace Patton.
There's
The
Candace.
lovely
right there.
Candace. Wow, looking stunning. Hi,
She
Candace.
is.
Hi.
Oh, my gosh, Candace.
Hi, Hartley.
I know.
I almost wore the exact same thing.
You always try to outdo me. I've had enough.
I know. I'm going to go change right now.
It's so annoying.
It's so good to see you.
Danielle, right? Where's Danielle? Hold on, I got to find Danielle. There's a lovely...
Well, that's where's Heather?
Right.
Hold on.
Am I
I don't
right?
know. Yeah, but I don't know if there's two Danielles
Okay, hold on.
in the Flash. And you know what? The other Danielle's not here.
Oh, so we're going to wait, and we're going to bring on GG as he goes by.
Yes. So Grant Gustin, otherwise known as The Flash.
It's my legal birth name, actually. Is Gigi.
GG.
Candace, I almost wore that too. Oh my gosh.
I can never win with these guys. It's like
Dude, I just made the exact same joke, Grant. Literally.
I heard you, Hartley.
He heard
I could
you.
hear
Yeah, I mean, you got to send me a check for that one.
Candace, you are thriving in quarantine, and I agree. Looking fierce, looking fierce. Okay, so I'd love to do a little round robin with you all before we get into our fan questions. How did you guys get the role? Hartley, how did it happen?
Well, despite the entire cast's efforts to keep me from getting the role, I somehow, see, they're nodding in agreement. I somehow managed to get it. I had auditioned for David Rappaport for a couple of different, Arrowverse shows over the years here and there and didn't work out. Actually, I think Grant knows this, but many, many years ago, I actually auditioned for Barry Allen.
I didn't know that till recently when I read it somewhere.
I did, yeah, and thankfully I didn't get it because
Thankfully.
you're much better than I would be in the role. But long story short, when I went in a couple of years ago and read for Ralph, it was this whole series of events where, like, I got to the gate to get in to do the reading, and they didn't have my name, and I had to wait, and like I ended up being late to the audition by like 3 minutes, and I was the last one, and they were waiting, and I had to pee so bad, but I didn't have time, and it was just an absolute train wreck. I thought it was like the worst audition I had ever done, and despite feeling that way, I guess it worked out. So it was, I don't know. It's just one of those stories. It was like a train wreck for me personally, but something must have worked or whatever.
That happens all the time. Every time I think I've given the worst audition, it's like I book it. It's weird. We don't really have any sense of our skills with a Z. Okay, hold on for 1 second. I'm going to bring on Danielle, but before I forget, listen, this is the whole main thing. When you donate to starsinthehouse.com, you're going to get a receipt. Forward that receipt to starsinthehouse2020 at Gmail, and then we're going to have a little list of people that donate. I'm going to send it to some of the cast members, and they're going to be like, "Thank you, so-and-so from The Flash." So forward it to starsinthehouse2020 at gmail.com. Where these people are. Okay, here we go. Yes, Queen. Hi.
Oh my God, Candace! I was going to wear the exact same thing.
Everyone's
Can't win.
I'm sorry, you guys. I'm such a dork. I've been sitting here watching and not realizing that I hadn't pressed the button to like go backstage. And so I'm sitting here talking to Mike. I'm like, oh my God, Hannah Baker hasn't pressed the button. That's crazy. Danielle's not in there. I don't know what's going on.
It's all good. Okay, so we just heard how Hartley got the gig, which was very inauspicious. Candace, how did you get Ms. Iris?
I came in, auditioned, I think really late 2013, around December. I remember bombing the audition. There was some line about Channing Tatum, and I could not remember Channing Tatum's name. Like, I couldn't remember the hot guy that I was referring to and speaking to Barry Allen.
Valley Allen.
How do you forget Channing Tatum? And I was in the room with, who was our director? Why can't I think of his name?
David Nutter.
David Nutter. And so I just thought I bombed it. I went home. It was Christmas break. I went home. I was like, forget it. I quit. I'm never going to be an actor again. I wanted to stay in Texas. My mom was like, you can't stay here. You have to go back. I went back to LA, and like a couple days later, they were like, can you come back in and can you read with Grant Gustin? And
You were like, who's that?
Yeah.
I was like, who's that? And then I met with Grant. It was a great audition. We just had chemistry instantly, in my opinion. And then a couple days later, I booked the show, and my life changed forever. It was really exciting.
Grant, were you cast first?
Yes, because the character appeared on Arrow. So I did 2 episodes of Arrow before the Flash pilot was kind of started to get put together.
So did you have a say in any of these people getting cast? Like, how does that work as far as a read or what? Chemistry read?
We did chemistry reads, but it's not like they were like, I mean, maybe, they asked my opinion, but I don't think, and I remember loving Candace, and we had a full, a round of a bunch of other people before that, and nobody felt right. And then it was, I think, just you, right, Candace, when the day that you came in to read with me, or someone else there? I don't even remember anyone else. I remember
telling David Rappaport, the casting director, I was like, I literally think I'm about to go throw up in the bathroom. He was like, you're fine. He was essentially saying it's yours to it's yours. Yeah. But I was like, I'm going to throw up.
Did you throw up?
I didn't throw up.
Oh, okay. I've thrown up before auditions.
Me too.
Really?
Many
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I've thrown up before Comic-Cons.
From drinking or just
from nerves?
I feel that for sure.
Why do you get nervous? Is it because you're singing or being in front of people, or what is it?
No, I mean, we didn't have to sing for this audition, thankfully, but that, I'm way more nervous for those auditions even. But we were, talking about before we were live with my experience with West Side Story, I did that for a year. And before every performance, I was nervous. I mean, it just, I've seen quotes from legends. I think it was Patti LuPone. That's if you're not nervous, it's not normal. It never goes away. Yeah. So, and that's been the case for me, where even shooting certain scenes for Flash, I'm up all night, losing sleep because I'm I want to get this right.
And what about you, Danielle?
How did my audition go for The Flash?
How did you get it?
Yeah, how did you get it?
Well, I'm so not being a show off when I say this because this never happened, but I actually did not have to audition for this job, thank God. I had done a pilot that got picked up to. We can see each other. My hands look enormous. So I had done a pilot that got picked up to series with the creators of The Flash previously. And it didn't go. And then that same creator went on and created Arrow. And he wrote a role specifically for me on Arrow. And all I had to do was basically show up and have Mark Pedowitz sign off on it. And I did. And he didn't. And I absolutely did not book that job. It was really, really, really bad. That character was named after me and everything. And it was super embarrassing. And then a year later, Flash came around, and the same producer called me up and said, okay, well, do you want to be on Flash instead? And I was like, yeah, of course. So he wrote me in at the tail end of season 1, and I came in and I did 2 episodes, but I had shot a pilot between that period of time, and that pilot got picked up. And so I went away and did that show, and after that got canceled 2 seasons later, I got the best call any actor can get after their show gets canceled, which was, hey, do you want to come back and finish what we started on The Flash? So I got my get on a plane as fast as humanly possible.
Wow. Okay. So, Hartley.
For all the actors, though, so every Hartley canceled, you never know what's coming.
Well, yeah. I don't know if we're gonna sound with it.
So guess what? This is live.
Yeah, that's why we're
so here's where the live thing comes in. Hartley Sawyer, do you know what you did?
You
posted the link for StreamYard, and you've got all your fans trying to get onto the damn platform.
What did I do?
It was Hartley, right? Not me.
Hartley.
Because I was worried I did that at one point.
Wait, where did I post the link?
Where did you post it? David will tell me. All it means is that there's constant people joining that can't even be on the screen, but they just keep.
Yeah, they can't be on the screen.
Just watch it.
It's just watch it.
Are you sure?
Oh no!
It wasn't me.
Keep it on.
Okay.
Did I put it on? Is it the one I just put on my story? Because I thought that was just a video. Oh no!
If you were able to see what we could see.
It's just nonstop people coming up, and I have to keep pushing ban.
So I should take it down, right?
I would take it the hell down. I would hire a social media manager who's not
this guy.
I thought you were gonna be like, "Hey, we just heard a toilet flush in your house." This is I literally thought that's what you were gonna say.
So, you know what this is gonna mean, Hartley? This means that we're gonna be asking every single person on The Flash an embarrassing story about you.
Yeah,
that's why
we don't have that much time. I mean, we only have an hour.
Grant, what do you got on him?
Yeah, what do you have on Hartley?
Where do I start? No, I mean, Hartley is someone that we actually, I mean, and he does this with me too. I mean, he's like, we love to give each other a hard time, but in actuality, like, he's a super professional, like, nicest person in the world. So I really don't have that much dirt on Hartley at the end
I
of the
don't
day.
think you can embarrass Hartley because he's so.
He'll embarrass himself first.
He'll embarrass himself before you even get the opportunity to. Like,
That's how I live my life. I beat people to the punch, and then they
Yeah.
have no ammo, you know.
So
Right, forget you two. I got stories. There was this one.
Thank you.
I'm kidding. No, I'm not. I'm just not going to tell you.
Don't tell them about the streaking.
Oh, really? I thought everybody
Yeah.
knew about that.
you don't know about it? Go.
It's not a real thing.
Hartley likes to run around there to show people.
Not a real thing. If you go back to high school, you'll find out about that, but not a real thing on the Flash.
It's been so fun that every 2 seconds I have to ban another person that
If you
keeps
could-
flashing
if
on the
you could
screen.
see
Guys,
our
stop
eyes
asking
there.
I am so sorry. Here I have. I've ruined everything.
You also, by the way, posted my ATM pin. So I appreciate
And your social security number.
They also can see that I'm looking up like what I'm looking up on my Chrome right now. Giardia treatment for dogs. They can see that. Yeah.
Okay, now you're forgiven.
Yeah, we love dogs.
You're forgiven.
Oh.
Actually, Hartley, talk about your love of dogs.
Yes, and how we can help, by the way, how people can
Yeah.
help that are watching.
I think one of the biggest ways that people can help is if they're able to at this time, and I realize it's a very, very challenging time for people in so many different ways, but one of the biggest things that people can do is open up their home if they can foster an animal for even a week or 2 weeks or something like that, because that actually gets an animal out of the shelter and potentially opens up a kennel in a shelter and can sort of save 2 lives that way. Because despite what a lot of people think, there are still unfortunately and tragically kill shelters out there, and people wouldn't believe the numbers of animals that are euthanized on an annual basis. I think it's something like 10,000 a day in the United States of America that are euthanized, dog-wise. But that's one of the most powerful ways that people can help. But there's so many different ways. I mean, find rescues that really align with your views and everything like that. And there's really no wrong way. I think this is true of a lot of things. There's really no wrong way to be helpful. If you're moving the needle in any way, I think that's a great place to start. But for me, before I got Flash, I was unemployed as an actor, and I was working 4 or 5 different gigs, which is sort of, this ties into the actor's fun thing for me. I was, barely making ends meet. And I was working 6 and sometimes 7 days a week. And, it just really felt like, how can I keep doing this? And why am I doing this? So in terms of finding a sense of purpose, I started volunteering at the South LA Animal Shelter, which is one of the largest animal shelters in actually all the United States of America. Before COVID, there were nearly 400 dogs there, and I started volunteering there on a weekly basis every Saturday, and it gave me such a sense of service and purpose that it really has informed so many different aspects of my life and my growth and my personality. And it's something that to this day, I still continue as often as I possibly can. And even to a degree remotely, having some meetings and trying to see how we can help, because it's just very much a part of who I am. And I think the other folks here would attest to that like, it's like dogs and everything else for me in many, many ways.
He's being humble. He does more than just a little bit still. He will get on a plane to save a dog. He will drive across the border to save a dog. He will be on the phone for 12 hours if he has to in a row just to find a home for a dog. He's really, really amazing. Like, it's
His whole wardrobe is dog t-shirts.
Yeah, I didn't wear one today. I was like, I thought about doing it, but I was like, I wear the same 5 t-shirts and hoodies like over and over and over and over again, right, guys? It's always like, there's the dog thing. It's like dog or Godzilla, and that's it. Like, those are the only outfits I have.
Are you allowed to bring dogs to the sets?
oh yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
I
yeah.
Very
To our
dog.
trailer.
All of our dogs at work. All of us.
Watch, now that we're not going to be allowed to, now that we've said that. But
No, don't say
Did
that.
I just Hartley the whole situation? Shit.
huh? Hartley just
Did I
messed something
Hartley
else
it?
up now.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Oh man.
No, we
I
all-
didn't hear anything. I don't know.
Well, Hartley's actually the only one that hasn't probably brought a dog to set.
No, I have. Danny has met Maggie and BG.
Yeah.
On set?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't keep him on set. Meaning,
Yeah.
At this
Space.
base camp at Circus, yeah.
Yeah. So
Carlos
they
is
can.
really the only one who doesn't have a dog.
I'm not loath to bring his cat though. I'm determined that this year we're going to do a holiday card, and it's just going to be pets of the Flash, and it'll be all of our dogs and Los's cat just in the center.
Or
Yeah.
Carlos can dress up as a dog, maybe, and
Or
wear a dog costume.
yeah, it's perfect. Just Los, because that's how everything should be with Los.
Harley, here are our doggies. The top two are Mandy, we adopted from the shelter in New York. That's Chrissy's from Aruba. We flew her up from Aruba. That's our kitty cat Romeo from vet on the Upper West Side. Mateo's from the bottom left. Mateo's from Puerto Rico. And that's Bagel the Beagle that we got from a shelter in New York. All of our little adopted angels.
Oh, bless you. How beautiful, how gorgeous. I love the sleeping pictures at the top. I sleep with the dogs all the time. We nap, everything, all of that.
My back is all out from the dog. It's a nightmare. Don't get me started.
Oh, I'm 6'4" and I'll be on like this much of the bed and like I'm in heaven and I wake up the next day and like my body's in hell, but like I don't care. It's like it's what gives me life.
Oh, we're the same way. We love our angels.
There's so many
questions. Let's go.
Let's just really, this is like whoever wants to take it. Who is the most like their character?
And you can answer for somebody else too.
I would say Tom, even though he's played the most characters, I feel like his real life energy like finds ways into his characters. You know, he has like childlike energy, and I feel like that finds its way into all his characters.
That's fair.
Also, Danielle Panabaker is by leaps and bounds the smartest person out of all of us. Like she might not be a doctor, but she could be in like 15 minutes if she wanted to.
Who is the most likely to break character?
Ooh, busted.
Depends on the day, doesn't it, guys?
Yeah, I'd say we're all guilty at times. Like, I almost want to say Tom again, but like,
I think Tom relishes in it because I don't know.
But like, if Tom's on set, I probably break more than him. Like when I'm acting with him because of him.
Right. Yeah. I would endorse that too. When I'm working with Tom, it's kind of hard for me to keep it together because he's a funny man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Grant, you have such a great dance background. Do you ever dance on set?
Every day.
Yeah, I dance a lot. I mean, I'm not like doing it, you know. I don't even notice I'm doing it. Like little like jigs.
Pirouettes.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Usually like moving my feet like tap dancing, but yeah, sometimes I'm spinning too. That's true.
Jazz squares everywhere.
Yeah.
All the time.
Actually, one time Lo dared me to find a way to fit a jazz square into a fight scene as Flash, and I did it. I like squared like before I punched the guy. Like it was.
I found one of your amazing dance moments. Here we go. Take a look.
Oh no. Could people hear that? The song was great.
It was called.
I couldn't hear it, but yeah, that was.
The lyrics were Grant. Speaking of which, Grant, check your phone. I just texted you a list of the most current donations.
Okay, well, while Grant is checking that, and here's another one. Do any of you have a favorite comic besides The Flash?
Wonder Woman.
I didn't get anything, Seth.
What? Okay, I hope I texted the right Grant.
Uh-oh.
Just one up target.
Your last name is
Dr. Alan Grant. My all-time favorite comic is Batman Arkham Asylum, Serious House on Serious Earth. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful book.
And I recommend. He just showed us up like that. Like we were like, yeah, and then Harley was like,
well,
big fan.
Boy, let him have it.
He's like an actual nerd.
Not cool.
I'm an enormous nerd, actually. Like, I mean, physically.
6'4".
Yeah, big nerd. But Batman's my favorite all time. Yeah. Sorry.
Superman's my guy. Always has been.
Yeah. Would you be down to have another musical crossover? A lot of people were talking about that.
Ooh.
That's more of a Grant question.
I've always said I'm more down for like us singing in like real world situations. Like we early in the show did like a karaoke thing, and like I feel like working it into something like that would be fun. I mean, not that the musical wasn't fun, but it was like a really daunting task.
That's a lot of work.
It was a lot. It was fun though. They brought Zach Woodley up, who was the choreographer from Glee that I had known pretty well, and Melissa really well, and it was like a weird Glee reunion. Like Darren was a part of it, and It was fun.
Grant, check I emailed you now instead of the text. Maybe it came through the email.
Yeah, I got an email.
Yay.
I'll accompany it. Grant. It's an amazing song.
So we have Naquan. I hope I said that right. From New York, $15. Am I reading the amounts? $15 donation.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Love that you're all doing this. Joanne from Ontario, $10 in memory of Logan. I don't know if that's our Logan, but anyway, we love our Logan too. Aisha from Florida, $10. Christopher from Massachusetts, $10. Thank you for this opportunity. I hope my small donation helps. It does. That was me, not him. Huge Flash fan. Sending my love to all the cast and crew and to everyone at the Stars in the House as well. Yo Seymour, they spelled it phonetically, so I think I said that right. From New Jersey, $10. Elizabeth from North Carolina, $25. This one I'm not sure. Datya from Israel, $25.
Wow.
I'm the biggest Flash fan in Israel.
This is live, by the way. So they're watching it live. This is live.
Yeah,
so they're watching
I hope I'm not butchering their names. So
no, but I'm just saying, like, they stayed up late for this. So bravo.
This is amazing. And the fact that they're donating is incredible. Thank you, guys. Where are we? Jessica from Australia, $5. Hi, guys. I'm from Australia, and I've been in isolation for 2.5 months, and have unfortunately lost my job like so many others. I'm so excited to see the Flashcast. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you for your donation.
Oh, that's sweet.
Crystal from New York, $25, and Robin from Ohio, $25, and she loves this.
Thank you guys.
Danny?
Wait 1 second. Someone just wrote, what are all the donations for? So we're donating to the Actors Fund. The Actors Fund helps anybody in the arts, actors, singers, dancers, anybody, but also everybody behind the scenes. So people that run the cameras, makeup people, ushers, box office, all across the country, nobody is working. Right. And people can have their rent paid, their medical bills paid. And what were you going to ask?
Well, I was going to ask, Danny, I heard that you have a story that's an Actors Fund story. Is that right?
Oh, honey, the Actors Fund paid my light bill a long time ago. Every actor goes through it. We all have our moments where, we're struggling and it's hard and we're chasing our dreams. Everybody in this business does. And yeah, some years back, there was a time that I was really, really stuck. I was in a bad way and I wasn't going to get my rent. Basically, it was pay the rent or have utilities. And a friend of mine told me about the Actors Fund, and I was saying, there's nobody that's that nice to actors. There's nobody that's like non-judgmental and helps you out. And I don't have parents to call in that way. And I called them up, and they said, how much is your bill? And I told them, and they said, okay, come get it. Just like that fast. And from that day forward, I've always donated to the Actors Fund. For every actor out there, by the way, if you're in the Screen Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA, when you pay your dues, you can add a donation to the Actors Fund when you pay your dues, which happens to be due right around now. There's a little box if you pay online or on the paper, even if it's just like a little bit of money. I didn't need thousands of dollars. I needed $300, and I got it, and it saved my skin. And so I certainly donated to the Actors Fund. I donated again today in honor of this, but I've donated several times since we started quarantine, and I always do because I just feel like it's my obligation to pay it forward.
Wow,
I love that, and remember, it's called the Actors Fund, but it's not just for actors; it's anybody.
Business.
That's right. That's right.
That is so great.
Wow.
And just for the record, like, anybody who has to call, don't like those of us who have it to give, we need to give, and those of us who need it, don't be ashamed to call. We're all in the same experience, and there's no bureaucracy. It's super fast. It's just people asking what you need, and they give it.
Wow, so well said. Seth, should I go to some more of these questions? There was one for Candace.
We have so many great questions.
Candace, here's
so many fans.
Yeah, all these questions that were on Instagram. So this one's for Candace. Has playing the wording is a little bit funky here, but I'm gonna try to figure it out here because it's a great question. Has playing an iconic role and changing what a leading woman in the comic world looks like changed you? Has it changed you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, how could it not? I think just from experiencing, the backlash kind of in the beginning from my casting, even to now, I've kind of taken on this mantle of trying to have a thick skin about it because I know how important it is for so many people to see a woman of color like myself in a leading role. So for me, it was always about, you know, there were times early on when I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I think I want to quit. Like, it was just bad. And for me, I had to have like a really come to Jesus meeting with myself about it being bigger than myself. You know, it's not just about how comfortable I feel in the role. It's about, I knew it was such an iconic casting and that it would and could potentially open the doors for so many other leading females who are not blonde hair and blue eyed. So I don't know. Yeah, it's changed me forever. It's just made me tougher in a lot of ways. It's made me speak up more for women of color in the business, especially in genre. So yeah, it's changed me for the better, and I'm very happy.
Did anybody mentor you? Did you go to anybody and go like, because you know, we know Vanessa Williams really well, and she dealt with a lot of backlash after Miss America.
Yes, first Miss America.
Did you go to anybody?
I mean, I think at the time, which is so daunting, it was so new for so many people, especially in genre, there was no one to go to. I mean, people saw it, but I don't think a lot of people knew how to help me or protect me or what to do. I remember later on having a conversation with someone at Warner Brothers saying like, you know, yeah, I remember early on like getting death threats and people were threatening me. And she was like, we have a team at Warner Brothers who can look into serious issues like this. And I said, people need to know this. People of color that you're hiring to be on these shows need to know that they have access to help, because we are experiencing something very different than our white counterparts on these shows. And we are scared and in a lot of ways traumatized by stuff. So, you know, it's taken me going through a lot, but I've learned so much and I've been able to help so many of the other girls and men of color on these shows who have, you know, experienced it themselves. So if I had to go through that to kind of, you know, help in any kind of way, it was my honor to do it.
Amazingly well said. And by the way, we forgot to announce that Jesse Martin is stuck in like Vancouver Harbor.
Yeah.
So he's not here. So this is the time to actually tell Dishy stories about him.
There are none.
We don't have any.
No.
He's just a really good singer and he's nice and stuff. We don't have anything bad to say.
Are you serious?
I'm sorry. He just sings really good.
Yeah, I mean, David Nutter, who we talked about earlier, called me to tell me when they had cast Jesse because he knew I had a musical theater background and I was, you know, a musical theater nerd, and I freaked out when I heard Jesse was cast. And we became fast friends, thankfully, and he was as cool as I would have hoped he would, you know, would have been. And I mean, he's a legend. So yeah, it's really cool and special that he's part of the show.
Yeah, when I hopped on the show in season 4, he was so warm and he was so welcoming to me. And I've seen him repeat that process in subsequent years. Like, I think when somebody new joins, he's really, really great about being warm and welcoming and reaching out to them in like the best ways. It was really great.
And Jesse will tell you the truth. Mm-hmm. In the most loving way, Jesse will tell you the truth. He will tell you.
He's like a dad.
Huh?
He really is like a dad.
He really is. I mean, I think of him like an uncle, but like, you know, but Jesse, the person that I will go to and say like, am I wrong in a situation? Like, tell me the truth, because not a lot of people will tell you the truth, and Jesse will give it to me. And I need that. I think we all do.
I brought this clip of him because he does an amazing granular appreciation. It's basically like a double pencil turn, and I was super impressed. So you can tell him that I showed him. Yeah, he tears it up.
You're as sensitive as steeped. Press the sauce on to the meat. You can make the menu sparkle with a rhyme. You can drum a gentle drum. I can see guests as they come, chatting not about Heidegger but wine. Let's all.
So
have you guys had a rent party to see the movie all together?
I've never seen Rent.
Me neither.
You've never even seen the movie?
Are you
I've never
serious?
seen the movie. I've never seen Law and
Candies,
Order.
Candies.
Run, you Christina Patton.
I've never seen Ren either. I have no familiarity with it.
Hardly.
Grant, we can't talk to them anymore.
Wait, we should have a viewing party on Stars in the House.
We should. I would love that.
We'll organize it. We'll do the Actors Fund. Okay, excellent.
Good. Let's
His
do it.
I'll Cover You reprise in that movie too. His I'll Cover You reprise is so good.
So good.
It's yeah. I mean, he's a legend, like I said.
Oh I cannot believe you two haven't seen it.
Wait, someone just wrote,
Yeah.
what is that video? Guys, it is Rent. People, get it together. Okay, so look, here we go. We got to go into our second half.
It's not Law and Order, guys. It's Ren.
It's not
Not Law and Order.
Music's not as good in Law and Order. Okay, so now we have to go on our second half because we can't have the same people on. So we're going to say goodbye to some of you guys, but you're all going to come back for a rent viewing party. Now we've decided.
Yeah.
So very excited.
Love it.
So
Thank
it
you,
was so lovely meeting you guys.
Thanks, Candace.
Thank you, Candace. We want to see you again. Thank you so much. Thank you, Danny. We loved your Actors Fund story.
Yes.
So lovely meeting you.
Amazing.
Thank you, Harley, for ruining the whole night by posting
You're
that.
welcome. That's what I'm here for, boys.
Well, this moment will never be forgotten by us.
No, never. Call me forever.
We're going to be in touch about doggies. So
That's
it's good to
right.
have you here.
Yeah.
Okay, so out to you. So now let us bring